Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about, did Disney erase the cross-dressing nature of that Pleakley? So I saw the trailer and it's alright. Some things they changed, some things they kept. Some of the alien voices sound very similar from the animated movie. And so one thing I noticed is that Pleakley and Jumba are using a holographic like disguise device. And so when I saw that, I'm like, they made Pleakley dressed like a guy. And so, like, when it comes to Lilo and Stitch, I love the first movie. I own it on DVD. I watched it a million times. I don't like nothing that came afterwards. I do not like the television series. I do not like none of the sequel animated movies. I only like the first movie. And so, if you know anything about Pleakley, is that he is a cross-dresser. In fact, he might be Disney's first and everything that I can remember. And like that is just like who he is. Nobody knows why he's like that, but he's just like that. Maybe they explain it in one of the other animated movie sequels, or maybe the animated television series. I have no idea because I have not like pursued all that because I don't like it. I think sometimes he does dresses like a guy in disguise. I'm not 100% sure because, like I said before, I've never watched the other stuff, but just basing it off of the first movie, when he does his disguise, he dresses like a female. And he doesn't just dress like a female, he fancies it too. Like, he's like, playing with the hair and stuff like that. And he seems very comfortable doing it. And I think I have seen some clips from like the television show where once again he dresses like a female. And that is something that is just part of the Lilo and Stitch lore. That's just something he does. And this was back in 2002. So, in times we're slowly starting to accept the LGBT. And so, like, I was wondering for the longest time before this trailer ever came out and the movie got announced, I'm all like, I bet you anything they're not going to have it in the movie. Now, this is just based on the trailer, the first trailer, and that's it. This is just an assumption I am having because the movie has not come out yet. Maybe he might cross-dress in the movie. I don't know. This is just based on the trailer, and I find it interesting that one of the disguises that he uses is dressed like that of a male. Now, when he did his disguises in the animated, franchise, there is no holographic anything. He doesn't look human. He has his alien body, but he wears dresses and a wig and sometimes lipstick. And I'm not sure if he ever uses heels or anything. But he is very much a cross-dresser. If you was to Google this online, it will straight up tell you, yeah, that's who this dude is and stuff. And I think I remember one time he was in disguise and Jumba wanted something from him. He's like, no, I'm gonna wear this. Like, that's just very much who he is. So when I seen the trailer and I noticed he's dressed like a actual man, it's just kind of like, And the reason why I went, because if you know anything about Disney lately, they've been rolling back on their progressiveness. They are rolling back on their diverse culture and stuff because of the simple fact all these angry white YouTube guys started getting pissed. It later bled out into the general public, and then it went into politics and everything with a lot of governors, senators, and even the president himself. And to the point where the government is rolling back on DEI and they're forcing major companies to do it. However, Disney started to roll back on DEI before the government forced them to and stuff. This is because a lot of their diverse movies did not do well during the pandemic. During the pandemic, mainly. And so because of that, what did Disney do? They blamed it on diversity. Because why? They listened to all those toxic YouTubers and they thought, hey, maybe they got something going on here. And so Pixar, they've even told Pixar, roll that stuff back. No more messaging, stuff like that. Because somebody let it leak over at Pixar. So movies like Soul, Turning Red, Luca, stuff like that, you won't be seeing stuff like that no more. And it's even to the point where the Lightyear movie pissed a lot of people off and they decided, they're just not going to go down that route no more. Because they're trying to make a certain political group happy. They're starting to make a certain race happy. They're starting to make a certain religious people happy because those people don't want to come back and watch their movies. And it's even bled over to Disney Channel to where a lot of it is starting to be less progressive. A lot of their diverse television shows from last year all got canceled. Then there was supposed to be an LGBT character in some Pixar movie. They had to take that out because Disney made them to. Then there was supposed to be a trans character in a cartoon series on Disney Channel. And at the last minute, they had to pull that episode and edit all that stuff out because Disney made them and stuff. And this is something that's going to start affecting a lot more Disney projects because of the simple fact all these angry parents are talking about they don't want Disney brainwashing their kids. They want to be the ones to teach their kids about the LGBT. You already know what they're going to say about it. They're going to say it's wrong. They're going to say it's monstrous. They're going to say it's abomination. There's going to be a whole lot of bigotry. But now I'm starting to see this in that like Lilo and Stitch trailer when it comes to that of Pleakley. And I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. Because when it comes to Pleakley, he was really their first representation in a male dressing like a female and stuff. For whatever reason. And I knew he would be like, they will have them edit that out or like take that completely out of like the movie. And so far, it does appear to be that way for now. Once again, this is an assumption just based on the first trailer. And this is probably going to rub the LGBT community the wrong way because like they're seeing themselves being erased from culture all because a bunch of people are bigots. And that is wrong. It's like all because Disney is scared. They're caving. They're trying to please a hate group and everything. And there's going to be some major backlash because it's not just LGBT representation, it's also race that like they've been rolling back on as well. To where they don't want no cultural stories told about like the struggles or whatever those characters and stuff like Turning Red. But how can you base all these numbers based on something that happened during like a pandemic? You know what I'm saying? And that does make me wonder now about what's that movie called? Like Inside Out or something like that too. Like that character is clearly LGBT and they're gonna have to roll that back and stuff. But it's just quite a shame that Disney will cower in fear to a bunch of bigots. And if they're willing to do that for them, they'll do it for anybody else in any other community, as long as these people scream and shout on the internet loud enough. So, once again, hatred has won. Once again, bigotry has won. And it's quite a shame because I am not going back in time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate seeing people get pissed whenever a black character now is in a movie or television show. Professor Snape is now gonna be black, and the internet like caught on fire with all their racist comments and stuff for a fictional character. And that just lets you know that all those people who are angry, which are all white, just don't want to see a black person take on a role that was a white person, and they just don't want to see a black person period in that movie, because J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series is predominantly white. And when all these people talking about it's not about race, it's about character, it's about blah 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 blah, then why do you get pissed every time it's a black person now on screen or taking over a role? Don't say it's not about race when you know clearly it is. Just come out and say you're racist. Just come out and say you're hateful and move on. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.